Top 10 Innovative YouTube Channels Everyone Should Watch. In 2016, YouTube's popularity as a media outlet reached its peak when 25,000 people attended VidCon, an international conference for online video creators founded by the Green Brothers. We will, however, not be including the Green Brothers on our list even though they made millions of dollars off of VidCon, because even their most popular YouTube channel, Crash Course, does not produce any particularly unique content. In recent years, mainstream media corporations looking for a new avenue of revenue have invaded YouTube's space. In his video on the Fine Brothers' attempt to trademark the word react, MatPat of Game Theorists points out how mega corporations are now directly competing with individual YouTubers with their own YouTube channels, which produce identical content. Corporate-owned YouTube channels have, however, not deterred the majority of YouTubers who continue to produce content we've become accustomed to. Now the tables have turned. Many YouTube entrepreneurs are now financially successful enough to earn the envy of giant media companies, as MatPat points out in his video about the mainstream media's reaction to PewDiePie's phenomenal success. Before we get to our list, we want to take the time to explain our list criteria. Our list excludes businesses that started out as websites before they had YouTube channels and earned much of their initial revenue from Google's web-based AdSense like Crack.com, WatchMojo, and What Culture. Such companies produce run-of-the-mill content you can find anywhere else on the internet in a well-organized and engaging format. We have excluded documentary outlets like Vice News and Journeyman Pictures, who earn most of their revenue from subscriptions on their websites. Other YouTube channels we have knocked off of our list include relatively new, small-scale companies that use YouTube as a marketing tool to sell education material on their websites, like iFixit, which produces instructional videos on how to repair electronics to market their online store for electronic repair toolkits. MatPat, a UK-based company that focuses on social science education, and the wildly popular School of Life, which sells live seminars about philosophical life coaching and a series of philosophy books on its website. We have even gone so far as to exclude charitable foundations like Intelligence Squared, which hosts Oxford-style public debates across the world, and uploads most of its debates to YouTube to promote its unique social cause. You also won't find the usual educational channels on our list, whose content can be replicated by anyone with enough higher education, like Michael Stevens' Vsauce, Derek Muller's Versatasium, and Hank Green's SciShow. We are used to seeing funny fails, react videos, unboxing videos, and Let's Plays. But for this top 10 list, we're going to check out YouTube channels that buck the trend and do their best to produce unique and original content. While we did consider popularity in how we rank the channels in our list, most of the channels we picked are nowhere near as big as the most popular channels in the YouTube hemisphere, but their content is certainly unique. And so, with great pride in our ever-growing YouTube community, we bring to you our list of top 10 innovative YouTube channels. Number 10. The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. When struck by the absence of English words for complex human experiences while writing poetry in college, John Koenig decided to create neologisms to describe said experiences. His passion for the English language ultimately led him to create The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, a web series that explains invented words with beautiful imagery and existential philosophy. From simple-sounding words that express our awareness of others' experiences, like sonder, to foreign-sounding words that explain everyday emotional experiences, like Vimo Dallin, Koenig's ever-expanding dictionary seeks to encompass the full spectrum of human thought and desire. Number 9. How It Should Have Ended. How It Should Have Ended has been making funny animated shorts about alternative movie endings for the past decade, and they are about to reach a whopping 7 million subscribers. After pioneering the genre of alternative movie endings, How It Should Have Ended expanded its repertoire to include alternative video game endings, like How Mario Should Have Ended, and movie mashups in their Hero Swap series, like The Matrix starring Forrest Gump. Hero swaps are, on the other hand, commonplace in YouTube animations, and some channels like Cartoon Hooligans started doing hero swaps years before How It Should Have Ended came to dominate the genre. Cartoon Hooligans' What If Superman Was Adopted by the Waynes may not be as interesting or as fun as most of How It Should Have Ended hero swaps, but it did jumpstart the genre. Some of How It Should Have Ended's other series, like Super Cafe, are even less unique. Their Batman Go video, for example, bears some similarity to other parody videos like Sam Green's Pokemon Go Transfer. How It Should Have Ended's tendency to rely more on humor than wit reminds us of the work of other professional animators like Harry Partridge. How It Should Have Ended videos like How Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Should Have Ended share the same over-the-top humor we see in Partridge videos like Hitman Absolution Hiding in Plain Sight. This brand of comedy tends to overshadow any meaningful commentary video game and movie fans expect to see. Number 8. Ownage Pranks. Ownage Pranks is run by a talented, anonymous prankster who voices 9 stereotypical characters for just about any conceivable prank call scenario. Like many of the YouTube channels on our list, Ownage Pranks was not the first channel of its kind. Just a few months before Ownage Pranks uploaded its first video, Friday Night Cranks was making similar but uninventive prank calls on his channel. Unlike Ownage Pranks, Friday Night Cranks is run by a prankster who reveals his face in every video and uses only one accent, his own boring American accent. Friday Night Cranks' tiny audience is nothing compared to Ownage Pranks' 4 million subscribers. With far more subscribers than his competitors could even dream of, Ownage Pranks remains the undefeated YouTube king of prank calls. Number 7. History Buffs. While there are a number of YouTube channels that discuss history, Nick Hodges' History Buffs remains the only channel that examines the historical accuracy of films. On Hodges' channel, the value of any given movie is measured by its historical accuracy. Anyone unfamiliar with History Buffs reviews may think placing a premium on historical accuracy diminishes a movie's entertainment value. But Hodges' review of Tora Tora Tora, the cinematic counterpart to Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor, will convince any skeptic of the entertainment value of historical accuracy. Number 6. Devin Supertramp. Devin Supertramp's death-defying stunts and immaculately conceived parkour videos have earned him 4.5 million subscribers. His channel has broken world records and perfected the art of merging pop culture references with parkour, a new urban sport that has taken the international sports scene by storm. His larger-than-life parkour reenactments of popular games like Pokemon Go, Assassin's Creed, and Mario have cemented his number 6 spot on our list. If it were not for channels like Dude Perfect, who have also tried their hand at daring sports feats, Devin Supertramp would be higher on our list. Number 5. Slo Mo Guys. When not working as a slow-motion cinematographer for Hollywood movies like Dredd, Snow White, and The Huntsman, and Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, Gavin runs a YouTube channel called Slo Mo Guys, where he films everything in slow motion with a $150,000 Phantom camera. With almost 9 million subscribers, Slo Mo Guys is the most popular slow motion channel. They may have pioneered the genre of slow motion footage, but they were not the first channel of their kind on the scene. Ultra Slow, the first channel dedicated to slow motion footage, started 4 years before the Slo Mo Guys. But unlike their predecessor, the Slo Mo Guys transformed the art of slow motion video into a mainstream YouTube trend. And a few years after the Slo Mo Guys came to dominate the genre, channels with similar ambitions popped up like Slow Mo Lab and Beyond Slow Motion. Number 4. Alternate History Hub. Alternate History Hub's well-researched what-if history scenarios set them apart from regular history channels like The Great War and Feature History. Alternate History Hub has covered almost every major historical event in their series, from presidential assassinations, like What If JFK Was Never Assassinated, to religious wars like What If the Crusades Never Happened. And in an attempt to expand the scope of its content and attract a bigger audience, they have also covered fictional history based on movies and pop culture, like What If the Purge Was Real. Not content with simply racking up a big subscriber base, Alternate History Hub set up a second channel in 2015 called The Knowledge Hub. It's a new channel explaining government policies that shaped human history, like why America was never isolationist. We chose Alternate History Hub over channels that occupy even smaller niches like Reply History, a channel about the strategies of famous historical battles, because of its larger audience and the breadth of its content. With well over 1 million subscribers, Alternate History Hub is to date the most popular history channel on YouTube. The Alternate History Hub was not the first alternate history channel on YouTube. The first channel to specialize in alternate history is a far less ambitious channel called The Alternate Historian. Run by author Matt Mitrovich, Alternate Historian has an embarrassingly small number of subscribers. Having started 4 years before Alternate History Hub came into being, Alternate Historian has amassed less than 3,000 subscribers. Quality and consistency, both of which Alternate Historian lacks, are just some of the traits of highly successful YouTube channels like Alternate History Hub. Number 3. Primitive Technology. About 2 years ago, a mysterious man of Australian descent started making instructional videos about ancient primitive technology as a hobby. His unusual hobby soon gained a large internet following, with almost 4 million subscribers and content better suited for a National Geographic TV series than a YouTube vlog. The anonymous Australian behind Primitive Technology now receives $5,000 on Patreon every video he makes. Primitive Technology explores every aspect of ancient human civilization, from planting cassavas and yams to forging fire blowers and building huts from hay, mud, and wood. Channels like Primitive Technology are incredibly rare on YouTube, but instructional guides on ancient culture and technology might become a new YouTube genre if channels like Jas, Townsend and Son Inc. become more popular. Number 2. Game Theorists. Hard work and perseverance have gained Mathew Patrick and his Game Theorists team a following of almost 8 million subscribers. By decoding the hidden meaning of video game stories like Hello Neighbor's satanic plot, and analyzing video game physics like how fast is Sonic the Hedgehog, and Luigi, the richest man in the Mushroom Kingdom. For a more in-depth look into how Game Theorists rose to YouTube prominence, we recommend Foot of a Ferret's A Brief History of the Game Theorists. After establishing himself as the internet's #1 video game theorist, MatPat set his eyes on the world of film theory and created the Film Theorists channel in 2014. In the course of a few years, Film Theorists gathered a huge following of 4 million subscribers with videos like How to Kill Deadpool. And after the success of Film Theorists, MatPat joined YouTube Red with his Game Lab series, in which he tests video game physics in real-world scenarios like Can Gamers Survive the Real Mirror's Edge? Science versus Cinema. Dr. Andy Howell's Science vs. Cinema is the youngest channel on our list, but it's a channel brimming with potential. Famous scientists like Neil deGrasse have discussed the scientific accuracy of Hollywood movies, but Howell is the first scientist to make an entire YouTube channel dedicated to analyzing the science depicted in movies. His videos on the scientific realism of The Martian and Arrival won him a well-deserved spot on our list. We admire his ambitious desire to interview actors and directors about their perspective on the science of their movies, but we believe his channel will be better off with more experiments and interviews with scientists. Patrick H. Willems. Most of Patrick H. Willems' YouTube content is made up of video essays and comedy sketches, but his director genre mashup films landed him on our number 9 spot. His unique approach to creating genre-twisting what-if movie scenarios sets him apart from the vast number of filmmakers on YouTube. He has expressed his love for both superhero films and indie art house cinema, with short films ranging from What If Zack Snyder Adapted Classic Works of Literature to What If Alejandro G. Inarritu Directed Wolverine. He would have landed a spot on our list if he had more subscribers and made more of these kinds of film. Other, far bigger YouTube channels have also dipped their toes in the art of director genre mashups. We have, in fact, found videos similar to Willems' What If Wes Anderson Directed X-Men, like Station by makers Porno by Wes Anderson, and Conan O'Brien's Wes Anderson Star Wars Episode 7 audition tape. What's Inside? What's Inside started out as a video of a father's attempt to help his son with a second-grade school science project about the insides of sports balls. But it quickly grew into a massive channel with more than 4 million subscribers. The father and son duo now travel the world while making videos about the insides of every household object they can think of. In the past 3 years, they have torn apart and drilled holes into every piece of electronics equipment and sports gear you could possibly imagine. Not all YouTubers plan to make it big. some YouTubers stumble upon success. Grant Thompson's The King of Random. Grant Thompson's King of Random features dangerous and wildly fun household experiments that have spawned copycat videos all across YouTube. Like Wolfie's raps and guava juice videos about instantly turning water into ice that look suspiciously like the water to ice experiment he did a few years ago. Copycats aside, science experiments and do-it-yourself tutorials are way too common on YouTube for us to include Thompson's channel on our list, but we will give him credit for making household experiments one of YouTube's biggest trends. And now to conclude our list, we give you number 1, Epic Rap Battles of History. Comedian Peter Nice collaborated with Maker Studios, the production company behind 2 of YouTube's most popular comedy sketch channels, Station by Maker and Polaris Maker, to produce Epic Rap Battles of History. Peter Nice and his fellow comedians EpicLLOYD and Dave McCary have been making epic rap battles for over a decade and have amassed over 14 million subscribers and more than 2.5 billion views. Their unique comedy sketches often parody famous movie characters in rap battles like James Bond versus Austin, and political leaders in other battles like Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney and Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. They have a knack for picking big names in America's cultural memory, but they often hype up historical figures in ways that are not historically accurate. Lenin was very different from the hero they portrayed him as in their Rasputin versus Stalin rap battle. If you're looking for smart commentary on politics and history, you will have to look elsewhere. But if you are a huge fan of history and you are looking for a good laugh, then Epic Rap Battles is the right channel for you. If you like this video, please subscribe and support us on social media.